This is Dabu7. Very important video. Want to share with you exclusive footage. And from here on out, I encourage others to try the same. Now, for those that are open-minded, you're going to stumble upon some pretty amazing things here. But I want everyone to realize that, yes, there is a plethora of different things out in the atmosphere. There are bugs, there are birds, there are planes, all that. And I'm going to help you distinguish the difference between those. But what I want to show is that, first off, a bird is a bird. It looks like a bird. But there's other objects that are further out, and you can tell so because they get lost in the haze of the sun, that are not birds. You're going to see what bugs look like, birds, planes, some wild stuff, and even some projectiles in this footage. Like I said before, people that don't understand things are quick to ridicule it and label it as, and just write it off as all it's bugs. I shared some of this on Twitter, and somebody said I did this 5 years ago and it was just bugs and birds. We're going to rule out the bugs and birds, and some of the things you're going to see in this video irrefutably shows they are not bugs and birds. I saved the best for last, and what's most important to me is I got to see it with my own eyes today. For the first time in my life, right above me. It's life-changing. And I'm going to share that one last, but I think it's important that everyone understands what they're looking at. And as you can see here, this is a bug. And I could tell, I could see it when it went by. You could see it in the atmosphere around you. And you can tell when it flies by that it looks like a bug. You see these other objects? They're not like that. They are out in the atmosphere, way out there. And a lot of them, as you're going to see, are specifically interactive with the sun. Coming off the sun, shooting toward the sun, having everything to do with the sun. And though they're not attracted to this squeeze ball that I have on the end of a stick blocking out the sun. I'm not holding the sun, obviously, it's in space. So these objects, whatever they are centered around the sun. Now, these are not even the main things I'm going to focus on, because these can be highly speculated as being multiple things. And if one wants to write all these off as bugs at this altitude, and did you just see that one? If you want to write off all these that you're seeing flying by as bugs, because they're not birds, I just showed you what a bird looked like. I'm going to continue to show you more footage of what things look like. But these things are lightning speed, and some of them are not even solid objects. They are just blips of light, and there are thousands of them. I'm going to talk about this in another video upcoming, talking about neutrino light. All kinds of objects you're going to see are zipping by. Now, for those that want to label that this is all bugs, I want you to go to SOHO. I want you to look at SOHO footage where they block out the sun, and I want you to see all the things zipping by the sun. It looks almost identical to what you're seeing here. And you're going to tell me those are bugs? Because they're not. And no one's ever been able to argue against that. What are all those objects you can see on SOHO that are surrounding and swarming our sun? Answer me that. You can't, because no one ever has been able to. Now, what's the difference that you can actually see them from Earth if you try and you go looking? Well, you're about to see. Now, what's important about this clip is you're going to see a bird coming into frame right here. Watch what happens by the sun. Did you see that? Now, these are some of the oddities that I've picked up that I want people to see. You can see what a bird looks like. And do you see what this thing looks like? A triangle that comes up and zips. Look at that. Now what do you have to say about it being a bird? There's a bird off to the side, and this thing is by the sun, goes into the sun, and gone. And up, you actually seen it float up above the sun. And something else just came out there. If these are the objects I'm talking about. See them all diving into the sun? What are the odds if they're bugs, they're all diving? Now, did you see those that just shot by? Those are the projectile type objects that I was talking about. They seem to move at a different pace, and some of them almost seem like they're being shot through the atmosphere. Did you see that one? And then another one going the opposite way, and it goes all the way through the frame. Show it one more time. I'm going to run through some clips here of some different objects. And you can see how they fade out into the distance. And did you see that object? It dove into the sun. The top one did. Didn't come out the other side. I know the other one after it flew by completely, but the top one dove into the sun like a lot of these other objects that are just sitting here flashing all over the place like lightning. Now, this is a still shot. As I froze the frame down here in the bottom right corner, you can see these two objects. Now, I'm going to show you an object that comes down through here, and you can see it's just making its way down through almost. It's different than the rest. And afterward, you're going to see a very bright object come across the whole screen. I'll go back and I'll freeze that so we can take a look at it. And you just seen that zip by on the bottom. I should go back here just so you guys can see that in real time. You see that zip by on the bottom? That was what you guys just saw. That was not a bug. That was not a bird. That was like a light boomerang that just went zipping by. See? Now, pay attention. From up here, you're going to see something get shot down, kind of like. It just, the way it moves is different than the rest. And these right there. And you will also see one come down through here. See that? And watch what comes up from the bottom. Into the sun. And what comes out of the top of the sun from here is amazing, because it comes from out of the sun. And as I freeze the frame, you're going to see, and here comes that other one that came out of the side. This bigger object's going to come out the top. Trying to freeze it slowly. Look at this. Look at that. That's not a bird. That's not a bug. It was huge, and it came off the top of the sun. Did you see it here in real time? It just lifts off the sun. There is another shot of it. As it just disappears. Now the next object's going to appear from out of nowhere right here and shoot down. Now, this is one of those, there it is, right here. This is one of those projectiles I'm talking about. Now, watch how it moves. It stays there. And you can tell it's out. You're losing it behind the cloud. So you know it's out there. Look at it. And then it's gone. And these are the exact type of objects I'm telling you are not bugs or birds, as you've just seen. Another one's going to kind of shoot up through here. Pay attention. Carrying the kind of same trajectory. See that? And here comes another one right behind it. Watch, same area. See that? Like it almost was shot, had a tail on it. And this one should come up right through here in this area. Did you see that? Let's take a look back at that real quick. And let's pause it as it's coming through. Alright, you can see it's starting to come into frame there. Now look at it. That's 3 balls of light. Look, almost like a comet when a comet comes up on the sun, but it completely changes direction, shows back up, and blips out. So that's what that was, whatever it was. Now this here is unique footage in itself because, as you can see, I was blessed with the opportunity to have a jet, a chemtrail jet at that, come streaking by the sun. So I decided, let's zoom in and get some action. And when I did, I caught an orb. And the orb, as you'll see, as I shift in here, you're going to see it on the right. You're going to see it right up in here. And then it's going to disappear into the chemtrail. Pay attention. It's going to come into focus right there. See him? Watch, he drops and goes right down into the chemtrail. And I lost him. Right into the chemtrail. And watch these guys come up from the south here and here, and the one over here will go straight into the sun. And like many of the others, you're going to see one go right into it, not come out the other side. Now pay attention to this object as it flutters down and into the sun. You see one dip down from the top? And for those that need a refresher on what a bird looks like, there's your bird. And you'll see another one of those projectile objects come down through here. You'll notice one come in on the bottom and slide across the screen right there. And this frame is very interesting because, as you can see, here's your butterfly. You can see the detail in the butterfly. You can see everything. You can also see a big bird floating in the sky, and you're going to see just something very odd in the sky up here that comes through. Watch right here. You see that? So the butterfly goes through and then it drifts up. Now you can see the bird too. Now you're going to see another one of these objects come through that's moving just like the objects I called a projectile right there. And you'll see another one come up through here. Another one shoot through here. And I want you to pay attention to this one that comes up before I zoom in. It is clearly bright and weaves its way up and out. This is a taste of what I caught with my own eyes, and I'm going to show you here in the end. And watch this one as it appears right here, comes up and goes up over the sun, over and around. Watch him. Now, there's a series of events that happen in this clip that I want you to pay attention to, and they have to deal with an object that is going to come up from here. You're going to lose it for a minute, but then you're going to pick him back up, traveling up through here. As he goes behind this, you're going to see one come from this direction, and I want you to pay attention to how they travel. There's the one going across the screen right there. I'll go back and show you that right before this, right as I zoom in, watch. You see that? There was an object that entered there. Now as he gets to the other side here, he's going to come out. There he is. I'll go back one more time through the whole process. It's right here. He goes in. Right there he goes in. And then this one comes out and starts to come over. He's going to start to come out on the other side right there. And watch as from here one comes out, appears, and shoots up. And this is why I say that these objects look like they're projectiles or something, because of the course or the way that they move. It's different than an animal or a bug or a bird or anything. And you've seen what bugs, birds, all of that look like at this point. And this shot is really amazing too, because what I do is I pull away my little contraption here to block the sun, and when I do, you're going to see an object come up and through, and you're going to see that you can see these things with the naked eye. And this final one that I'm going to show you, I saw with my own eyes. That's why I know it's real. Now watch as you see one shoot off the top. Did you see the one shoot by? You seen it shoot by. See that? So it's not just an effect when the sun is covered, because as you can see, off, you could see the whole, it didn't change. That was something flying by right there. Period. It's one of these objects I'm trying to bring your attention to. Now what I find interesting is that last one I showed you that shot off, another one's going to come from the same exact area. Watch. They're materializing out of this area. Something just shot up there. Watch. See? It came, same thing. It's on the same path. Now watch how this other object comes in. You can barely see it through here and works its way up. It's a bigger object. Right there. See it coming up? Going up? And now I'm zoomed in here at a little bit different angle, but the same position. And you're going to see one of these shots getting popped off, or whatever it is, one of these objects coming from the same neck of the woods going in the same direction. You will also notice some activity floating out here as one zips off this way as well. Now, this is what I mean when I talk about neutrino light. This light that is given off and can be detected when an object crosses from 4D to 3D. It's a fact, and they have the technology to pick up this light. But what you're going to see is you're going to see these flashes everywhere, all over the place. You see this? I mean, they're everywhere, but look, see those objects in the background that just floated by? That's what I wanted to really point out. They're bigger. You see them floating by? So there's a plethora of different things, different objects, different sizes, different speeds out here. I want you to watch right here as an object comes in very slow. This is one of the slowest ones. And it's hard to see, but he takes his time all the way across and going up. And it's very important that you see this. Here he is here. Okay? Watch him. Watch how he moves, how slow he moves, and off he goes, up into that direction. It's one of the slower objects, but it's proof that they are there. You'll see one pop up right here and float over and out. And watch right here as another one comes shooting up into the frame. And once again, this is a bird, and what a bird looks like when it flies by. Not one of these way out there in the sky. And I'll finish this video with the most amazing one of them all to me, because this one I saw with my own eyes. Now you're going to see him come into frame here, and it was really just amazing. After seeing this with my own eyes, there's not a doubt it wasn't a bird, it wasn't a bug, it was nothing like that. See how it's lit up in the sky? That's how I saw it with my own two eyes. So people can try to make up excuses for a lot of the other things they're seeing here and label it whatever they want. I'm telling you this much. This object was not a bird. It was exactly what you see, an unknown flying craft. And that's when you seen the bounce there, that's when I took off running into the house. One of the craziest things about this is not only did I see it with my own eyes, but when I ran in the house, the song that was playing that she had on the radio was, "I always feel like somebody's watching me," to top it all off. Anyhow, I freaked out a bit.
Oh my God, I see him with my naked eye.
This is the raw audio.
Shannon, 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 Shannon. Oh my God. I saw it with the naked eye. I saw it with the naked eye. Shit! Shit!
And that is my experience, as raw as it gets, as real as it gets with these objects. And for the first time, I've seen one with my own eyes. Broad daylight, just as you see it on film. So the rest of them, people can say, hey, it may be a bug, it may be a plane, it may be a bird. I've shown you what bugs look like, what planes look like, what birds look like, the whole nine. And I seen them all in the sky with my own eyes as well. This object looked exactly as you see it. It was a ball of light floating around in the sky around the sun. And all of this central to the sun. So I guess once you see one of these things or one of these events with your own eyes, maybe then you'll start to believe that it's not a bird or a bug at 20,000 feet or, any of these things. Because, yes, birds and bugs do come into the frame. We've discussed this. But you've seen what they look like. And I think it's rather obvious that this thing isn't flying around the thing on the end of my stick. It's flying around the sun that is out in space. All of these objects centered around the sun. All this activity going in and out. Why? Now, I'm going to be talking about a lot more of this in depth, the details about what's going on here, because I know the biggest question everyone's going to have from here is, what are they? And my answer to you is that these are a lot of different things. A lot. And a lot of it you have no clue even exists. My thing to you, those of you that are awakened, is they are here. They have always been here, and you can expect ridicule from the sheep that have a closed mind. They're the ones that I see in the end. How real all of this really is, when there's more out there than just so-called UFOs with little green men inside of them. Because it's in my belief, a lot of this can be controlled remotely, not only by technology, but by thought. And I believe what you're seeing right here in this frame is intelligent life. And it is technology at its finest. And I say that without a doubt because I saw it with my own two eyes. I challenge you, do it yourself. Use discernment. Know the difference of what you're looking at here. And like I said before, there's a million things out there blipping and shining. Is there really that many bugs way up in the atmosphere? And if I'm picking them up, if they're that high up in the atmosphere, they would have to be bigger than birds. Use logic, ladies and gentlemen, before making up excuses just to try to fit something that you don't understand. I'm telling you, this is as real as it gets. You saw it here from Dabu 7. This is from me, my footage. Witnessed this one here with my own two eyes. And this is exactly what you can expect to see. Like I said, I'm going to be doing bigger videos from here on out, talking about a lot of things to get this all in the clear. And I can't wait to see other footage, because when I told Spiro about this, he admitted he had his doubts till he went and he filmed it and he saw it with his own eyes. And he's picked up different objects. He's in a different part of the country. I'm in the Midwest. He's on the West Coast. And he's even talked to people that have seen these in the UK. The thing is, and I want you to realize this, if you go over to SOHO, LASCO, NASA's telescope that's on the sun, they have the sun blocked out just like this. If you hit play, you're going to see stuff shooting around the sun just like this. So why is everyone so surprised? Oh, I know why you don't want to make the connection, because everyone wants to say this is bugs or birds, and you can't say that when it comes to space. It's the same thing, the same objects. It's time you awaken. The same exact things. So, those that have the open mind, you see what's going down. And those that want to stay closed minded, keep making excuses. The proof is there, the connections have been made. Now it's time for you to grab the camera and shoot back. And regardless of the ridicule, use discernment. You know what bugs look like, birds, and you know there's going to be other things. And there's all kinds of other life, rods, corkscrew type things that you have no idea exist that are flying around out here. And that's real. So keep an open mind and realize that out of all these things, that some of these are genuine. If you seek, you shall find. This has been Dabu7. Eyes to the skies, if you're wise.